Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Alright, this is called factor by grouping. Do what I say to do. Step 1. Wait. You don't get what?
I didn't understand it at all.
Okay. Nobody came in during card table and asked me for help.
I did.
I was there.
You just didn't answer my. I kind of had to go with Guy.
Step 1. Back to first two terms. Steph didn't come in. Luke didn't ask me.
But I was here.
She didn't ask me. I mean, I have no sympathy for you. If you
I
didn't
actually
ask for
did on a couple questions. I asked you for help.
help. Did I help you?
Yes. And I got those ones right, but I didn't get anything else right.
I asked my brother, and he did it. He explained it pretty much like he did, and I didn't understand it the first time.
Okay.
I guess.
Step 2. Factor last two terms. How many terms are there?
4.
4 terms. Have you done anything with 4 terms?
No. Yes.
Oil.
So you've not been given 4 terms and been asked to factor it. So when you see 4 terms, this might be what you want to try. Okay, understand? Step 3, wait, parentheses. Now, here's what you need to understand. Parentheses should be the same. You may need to factor a negative now. So all the times you've seen negatives and I've had you factor the negatives out, this is the reason. You may need to do that at this point. I put it in between step 2 and step 3 because what's important is this statement. The parenthesis should be the same. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay? If it's not the same, you did it wrong. You don't go to step 3. Okay? Step 3. Factor parenthesis. And then step 4. You'll all understand what this means in a minute. Step 4, factor anything else. A lot of factoring.
Yeah.
Factor. And factor in. 4 steps. Got it? Good. All right, let's go on. Example 1. X cubed minus 4x squared plus 3x minus 12. I'll let you catch up. How many terms?
4.
Don't know how to factor 4-term polynomial. Step 1. What's step 1, men?
Factor for 2 terms.
Factor the first 2 terms. All right, men. What kind of factor out of the first 2 terms?
X.
Oh, and
X squared, thank you.
Oh.
So what's inside that parenthesis? Min.
An X minus 4.
Thank you. Sophie. Notice I said I put a plus sign there. Let's do that. Okay. And then if you factor out a negative, you can just change that to a minus instead. Everybody understand that? Yes. Sophie, what can I factor out of the last two terms? Step 2. A 3. What's inside, Sophie? Oh, what's that parentheses there?
Oh.
They're the same.
Oh, whoa, oh, wow, I see it.
Step 3.
I see the light.
Now, watch. Just watch. This is one term. This is one term. There are only 2 terms up there. This is just for visualization purposes. Okay. Step 3 says factor the parentheses. Out of these 2 terms, what's common?
I think I know what you can do.
Answer my question.
What's coming?
No. What is common in these 2
common.
terms? Yeah, the parentheses. That's what step 3 is. So whatever's common, you can factor out. There was an x common here, x squared that was common, we factored out. The parentheses should be common. If they're not the same on step 2, then you need to go back and change something. If they are the same, then you factor out the parentheses. Now, what's left once I factor those out? X squared plus 3. You just factored a 4-term polynomial.
Wait,
That's a lot easier.
wouldn't x minus 4 be squared?
No,
Because there's 2 of them?
no. Let me ask you something. What is, no. What can I factor out of there?
2.
Why isn't it 2 squared?
Because there's no squared on
There's no squared on these.
Oh.
it. Oh, do not get it. I see it.
2 times 2 is 4.
Yeah,
2 times 5
it's 10.
is 10. So what can I factor out of both those terms?
2.
1, 2 out of both of them. So I'm left with A2, and I'm left with the 5.
Yeah.
Okay, why didn't you square this then? I'm using your rationale. Why you told me to? Why didn't I square this? Well, why aren't you squaring that too? I'm only factoring out 1, 2, right? So I'm only factoring out 1 x minus 4 from both of these terms.
Oh, because when you multiply it by there, it'll be there twice.
Yeah, because x minus 4 times x squared is that, and x minus 4 times 3.
Oh, yep, I see it because you're doing it to both numbers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Break
What?
class today. Everybody following me?
Everybody laughs.
Sam's bored. All right, example 2. Let's see if you can do this one. What's the title of this section?
Completely.
Yeah, have at it. Go. Everybody should have done this today. Got it yesterday.
Isn't that x squared?
Just work the problem. Stop when you think you're done. What? All right, hold on. There you go. Come on, dude.
I solved it.
No, you're not. It's not that.
Well, that's what I got.
You're not done.
X.
All right. I take out an x squared. Now I have x squared minus 1. How many people got that? How many of those people think you're done?
Me, but okay.
Oh.
I think you're done.
Wasn't this the difference of two squares right here?
No. Huh?
A squared minus b squared? Isn't that the difference of two squares?
Yes.
Yeah.
So should it be x minus 1, x plus 1?
But why?
Because it's not factored. Okay, smarty.
I'm not very smart,
I just reduced that fraction.
No.
Yeah, I did. I reduced it.
Yeah, but it goes to 1 third.
Oh, well, see, that's not done either.
I don't like this.
Wow.
Factor completely.
I don't like this.
This is gonna be so hard. It's gonna take forever to get to 54.
Example 3.
Oh.
For 1 third.
See if you can do this. If I try. Trinomial. Factor completely.
Oh my goodness, you're not so genius.
I do, actually. I think you're pretty smart.
Is 3 in common?
I don't think you try hard enough, but I think you're smart.
Hey, that's what he told me, so now it goes so bad.
I said thanks.
Ow.
There's a little difference between you and Sophie.
Oh, what's that?
So we can keep her mouth shut.
Well, that's another difference. Come on, let's go.
But what is the difference between me and Sophie?
She tries harder than you do.
And I'm more beautiful than Sophie.
That's what you think.
You don't try enough.
What? I try as hard as I can.
Not every day.
I don't understand.
A lot of days.
Not like you prove my point. Yeah.
Well, I do.
You do.
I think I
have the answer. I'm not sure if I can.
I believe
Anybody
I
else that doesn't hardly ever talk in here over everybody else?
I believe that I
Anybody have the answer over here?
I have an answer. I think it's wrong.
I think
I'm
it's
not sure
wrong.
if
Well, let's start with this. What do you think I should start with?
3x squared.
Now we can take up 3x squared out.
That's what I took out.
That's what you should have done. And that gives me x squared plus 8x. Good.
Did not
Now,
do that.
doesn't that look familiar?
Yeah.
No.
No. Yes. Oh no, we have to.
Well, you can't factor this. There's a 1 right here. This one would be really easy to
That
factor.
is really.
How do you factor that easy trinomial?
I'm confused.
We do X.
Stop. Where are you confused at? Do you understand how I got this answer?
I understand how you got that.
Okay. At this point, this would be done, except you got to check to see if you can factor this trinomial further. So 3x squared doesn't disappear. It's still in the answer. But now the question is, will that trinomial factor in this? I want Steph to do this.
Yes.
So whenever there's a 1 in the A position, okay, ax squared plus bx plus c, the general form of the trinomial. Whenever a is 1, we go back to the beginning of factoring in this chapter. All you have to do is find factors of 16 that add up to b and multiply together, give me c. So what factors of 16 will add up to 8? That's right. Oh, wait a second. What do you notice about that?
They're the same.
They're the same. So technically your answer should look like this.
Yes, that's what I
Which
have. That's what I have.
means this was a special case trinomial, which I don't even care about. Okay? But the point is that you recognize that. Now you factored it, you did the right thing. But if they're the same, then write it like this. Okay? Everybody? Okay, example 4. X plus 1 equals, there's an equal sign. What does that mean?
So, if you go away.
Alright, there's all over it. X squared plus 3x cubed. I'll give you a few minutes.
Can you make it equal?
Yes, you did.
So does that mean we like something with me?
No comment. I believe the fifth.
Wait, we store parentheses, right? But we gotta factor out of these two and then factor out of these two, right?
Yes.
I'm a little
Well, he's got an equal sign, so you gotta have a 0,
Yeah.
which means
You gotta subtract
put everything on the same side as the positive biggest exponent. If that was a negative, I'd move everything over here.
Okay, so you put everything on this side.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would move everything to the right. That's just a preference, it's an opinion. Just because the positive largest exponent term is on the right. If it was negative, then I would have moved it to the left. You get the same answer either way.
Oh, I see something about it.
You should have factored out a -1 out of the last two terms. Remember, you can always factor out at least a 1 or a -1.
I never factored out of this one.
Okay, I'll be down in 2 minutes. Alright, bye.
I actually put it on the other side.
That's fine.
So I factored out a negative x squared and a positive 1.
Why is it -1?
Okay, so if your signs are totally different, that's okay. All right? So that's still equal to 0. But finish it. You should still end up with the same answer.
Yeah.
So this is the difference of two squares here. Steph, what's your question?
How'd you get x squared? Because doesn't the 3x,
That's
shouldn't
okay.
you do x one?
You got it.
Since you just get 1x though.
Oh, I did not do that.
Right out of these two?
Oh,
Do you get it?
no.
I didn't get the difference of 2 squareds either.
Well, you have negative x squared plus 1. That's why.
Yeah, I actually got.
That's why you should factor out a negative out of it so that you can do that.
I got the two positives. Like, I got negative x squared times the quantity of 3x plus 1 plus the quantity of 3x plus 1.
You have negative x squared here,
Yeah, it's
and
negative
this
x.
is a plus 1 here.
Yes.
Okay, that's why, because you put it on the other side. Now, you change that negative, take a negative out from here. You have a negative x squared plus 1 in parentheses, because you factored out the 3x plus
Yeah,
1.
no, yeah.
Right, so take a negative 1 out, and then you'll get this. And the negative 1 just stays in. You're still going to get the exact same numbers.
Yeah. Well, I'm keeping what I had, and I'm
But
gonna
if
see
you
if
see something like this and you say, gosh, I wish that was the difference of squares, well, take a negative out. But make sure you change all the signs. Okay?
Well,
It
I'll
doesn't
just
disappear,
see what
negative
you
goes
get. I'll just see what you get because
That's it. That's the answer.
negative 1/3. That's what I had too. So
That's what I said. You get the same answer. Page 610, 4 to 54 evens. Next review evens. I gotta go down to the office for a second. You guys all work on your stuff, and I'll be back.